hidden jet factories, counterfeit cash, and haunted ships. World War II wasn't just about war. It was a time of desperate gambits, shadowy experiments, and secrets that still echo decades later. In this video, we explore the lost and hidden world of World War II, where the past is always waiting to be rediscovered. Get ready for a tale of secret missions and icy intrigue. Imagine it's World War II, and the icy North Atlantic is a battleground. U-boats lurk beneath the waves, and the weather's not just a forecast, it's a weapon. That's why the Germans snuck a secret team onto the frigid shores of Canada to build a hidden weather station. They called it Kurt, and it wasn't just some thermometers in a shack. This thing was high-tech, sending out data to help those U-boats target Allied ships. For a while, no one was the wiser. The Germans had a hidden weapon buried in the snow. But secrets have a way of getting out, especially in wartime. Allied forces caught wind of Kurt, and a daring mission was launched to find it. It's a story of spies, harsh wilderness, and the high stakes of knowing whether a storm will sink your supply ships or give your enemies the advantage. World War II was a race to invent new and powerful weapons. While planes filled the skies, the Germans were working on something faster, the world's first jet fighter. But where could they build such a top-secret machine? The answer was surprising: underground. Just outside Vienna, Austria, there's a huge cave system called Seaggrter. It was abandoned after a flood and even became a tourist spot. Then the Nazis took it over. Deep inside, where no Allied bombs could reach, they built a secret factory. Imagine over 1,000 workers down there building this strange new plane in the dark. Today, the Seaggrter cave still holds a piece of that history, a model of that first jet. It's a weird reminder of the desperate inventions of wartime and how even a flooded cave can become a hidden battlefield. The Nazis weren't the only ones with wartime secrets. Out in the Pacific, on a tropical island called Truk, the Japanese had a massive hidden base, full of warships and planes. They thought they were safe, but in 1944, the Allies launched a surprise attack, Operation Hailstone. The battle was brutal. Bombs and torpedoes rained down, and when it was over, the ocean floor was littered with wrecks. Over 60 ships, hundreds of planes. It was like the whole Japanese fleet was frozen in time, just sitting there at the bottom of this lagoon. Today, they call it Truk Lagoon Cemetery. For scuba divers, it's a spooky paradise. You can explore battleships, swim through old aircraft, all covered in coral and fish. It's a haunting reminder that even the most beautiful places can hide scars of war, and sometimes the biggest battles leave their mark in the strangest ways. From secret underground factories to sunken fleets, World War II was full of bizarre mysteries. But some of the strangest didn't happen in battle. Take the case of the L-8, a US Navy blimp that vanished into thin air, with no sign of a fight. It started as a routine patrol near San Francisco in 1942. 2 experienced pilots on board, nothing to worry about. But then, the L-8 went silent. No radio calls, just floating off course like a lost balloon. Search planes went up, and hours later, they found it, drifting over the ocean, empty. The blimp was fine, the life raft was still there, but the pilots? Gone without a trace. No one could explain it. Accident? Enemy attack? Something even stranger? Officially, it's still a mystery. They call it the Ghost Blimp, a chilling reminder that sometimes people just vanish, leaving behind an empty shell and a whole lot of questions. And sometimes, the strangest weapons aren't bombs or planes. Think about how a war could be won not by fighting, but by faking it. That's what the Nazis tried with Operation Burnhard, a crazy plan to flood Britain with counterfeit money. This wasn't a sloppy back-alley scheme. The Nazis gathered some of the best forgers in Europe, many of them Jewish prisoners, and forced them to make perfect copies of British pounds. It was like a twisted counterfeiting factory hidden in a concentration camp. Their goal was to drop these fake bills from planes, crashing the British economy. And for a while, the plan worked. The counterfeit money started turning up, causing panic and making people doubt what was even real anymore. Thankfully, the war ended before the Nazis could fully carry through, and they dumped the remaining evidence in a lake. From fake money to mysterious vanishings, World War II was fertile ground for the bizarre. And sometimes, what seems like a hoax can have chillingly real origins. Take the story of a suitcase full of alien-looking skulls found in the Russian mountains. It sounds crazy, but this was supposedly linked to the Ahnenerbe, a real Nazi group obsessed with the occult and ancient myths. Were they looking for alien weapons? Proof of some sort of superhuman race? Nobody knows for sure. The whole suitcase discovery could be a prank, but it's a creepy reminder that the Nazis weren't just conquerors, they were obsessed with the weird and unexplained, hunting for any edge they could find, even if it meant searching for things that weren't of this world. Sometimes, discoveries aren't about lost cities or alien skulls, but the echoes of war, just waiting to be found. Take the Junker Ju-87, a terrifying Nazi dive bomber. Its scream was so loud, they used it as a weapon to scare people as it attacked. For years, historians thought they'd all been destroyed. Then, in 2014, divers off Croatia found one at the bottom of the sea. They discovered it was flown by a pilot from Italy's Regia Aeronautica, which was closely allied with the Nazis. The plane was almost perfectly whole, just sitting there on the seabed like a time capsule from a brutal era. It's a chilling reminder that even decades later, the past can still surface. And sometimes, the most haunting artifacts are the ones we already knew about. This next discovery isn't about hidden battles or lost planes. Some mysteries take root in the things we build. Take the SS Alamos, a Greek ship with a chilling history. They say it was cursed even before it left the shipyard. A worker died during construction, and the rumors began. Crew members swore tools moved on their own, heard footsteps when no one was around, even suffered strange illnesses. Sold over and over again, as though no one could bear owning it for long, the Alamos finally met its end on a reef off Australia. But even a shipwreck couldn't quiet the stories. Divers claim to experience weird things near the wreck, proof that some legends refuse to die. The SS Alamos is a reminder that sometimes the most haunted places aren't old houses or graveyards. They're built from steel and float on water, carrying their dark shadows with them wherever they sail. From haunted ships to mysteries buried in mountains, some secrets refuse to stay hidden, even when they try. Project Reese, in the Owl Mountains of Poland, is one of those secrets. Nazis dug this massive underground complex during World War II, a maze of tunnels and bunkers carved into the rock. But here's the thing, no one knows exactly why. Was it Hitler's secret hideout? Were they developing some terrible new weapon? Or hiding stolen treasures? Even today, Project Reese has more questions than answers. Some of its tunnels are open. You can walk where the Nazis once plotted in the shadows. It begs the question, what other hidden relics of war are still out there, waiting to be uncovered and reminding us of the lengths people will go to in desperate times? Not all the great battles of World War II happened overseas. In fact, one fight was against the environment itself. That's what the Desert Training Center was all about. Picture this, a chunk of California and Arizona the size of a small country, transformed into a practice battlefield. Fake towns, airfields, endless miles of sand and rock. All so American soldiers could learn to survive the brutal North African desert. Over 1 million soldiers went through that place, sweating under the desert sun, fighting mock battles to prepare them for Rommel and the Afrika Korps. The center was shut down after the Germans were defeated in Africa, but its ruins are still out there. A ghost town from a war that, for a while, was being fought on 2 continents. Just goes to show, the battlefield can pop up in the most unexpected places. All of these discoveries remind us that World War II is more than just a series of battles, courage, and sacrifice. It's the legacy of millions and the thirst for knowledge, progress, and invention. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes of fascinating history.